All right, our Irish friends, always interesting to see what they're up to. Where are we at in the seemingly inevitable march from the two and a half party system to a three-party system? Is that where we're going with this? Or what do you think is going on with our Irish friends right now?
Well, I mean, I can't claim to be an expert in Irish politics. I kind of follow it with perhaps the same curiosity and interest that you follow British politics, but it's by no means my area of expertise. But it does seem to. I mean, it seems like they're pretty affected by the fuel shortages that are occurring as a result of the Middle East, and that is maybe the main dynamic in their politics at the moment, because they're so much more reliant on heating oil than we are in the UK or outside Northern Ireland, because Northern Ireland is actually very reliant on it too, and they've been having lots of fuel protests, which seem to be driving populist sentiment there.
One of the great arcs of my lifetime is the change in Sinn Féin and Irish politics from when I was a kid to now. Really, someday we'll get some of our Irish friends and talk about that in the future. All right, buddy, when you're looking over here at us, what's broken through, even with all the noise and the mess with Starmer and everything else going on in the UK? I always enjoy asking you this question. What's a couple of the American headlines that have kind of poked through? I know obviously Iran is dominating just about everything internationally right now, but what does poke through y'all's media every now and then about what we got going on over here that you're keeping an eye on?
I mean, it's a somewhat boring answer, but it is just the Trump show at the moment. An interesting one. I know this was a few weeks ago, but the Melania Trump kind of coming out and saying that she had no kind of
Yes.
relations with Epstein was a kind of baffling one, because I don't think anyone beforehand was kind of saying that she had any kind of sort of connection to Epstein. But then by coming out and saying that she didn't, it drew loads of attention to it. That definitely had a lot of cut through, and was a subject of curiosity here.
Yeah, it was obviously getting in front of something, and we know there's a
Mhm.
couple of things getting ready to drop media-wise about it. We know the entanglements. We've seen the photographs. Again, innocent until proven guilty, and a photograph isn't guilt. But, if you're in those circles, you got to answer the questions. I think that's fair to say. Where are we at internationally on the Epstein stuff? Because Starmer's not going to survive this. Madelson's probably going to prison one way or the other here for something somewhere in here, whether it's the Epstein stuff or the foreign influence or whatever. Why do you think, if you want to throw the Andrew piece in there, why do you think the UK seems to be doing a little bit more proactive stuff on the Epstein stuff than America? And I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, because I understand it's a lot of powerful people with a lot of dirty hands. Everybody understands that. Nobody's disputing that. But still, UK seems to be moving a little. They're at least doing something about it where the US has not. What's your working theory on that?
I think perhaps the difference in the UK is that our institutions are more independent of politics. You don't have a head of the FBI, for example, that's chosen by the president, or judges that are chosen by politicians, or kind of district attorneys that are voted in. You have a much more independent system, so